But yeah. So this is all good stuff. And maybe you only have good stuff to say, which is okay. But you know, in the spirit of any cultural complications that have occurred, have you encountered any resistance, any pushback, tried anything that didn't work, that the rest of us can learn from as well?
I wouldn't say I can't think of any pushback. I'm not going to say that there hasn't been any silent kind of like, I don't know why we're doing this kind of thing that hasn't been said aloud, but I can't think of any obvious pushback or anything that has happened. I think because it has been sort of from the leadership said we're doing this, it's sort of, the culture has been set that this is now what we're doing. And so I don't know, Les, if you've heard anything, but I haven't had any pushback on anything.
So I think there is always like some resistance, right? And I think that comes from a place of fear always. People are afraid of the unknown. But what I think is interesting is if you create like that little crack in the door, people who initially at first are like, why are we doing this? Why are we spending a half an hour talking about cultural complications? It percolates for a little bit. And the next time it comes around, they say something and you're like, oh, I didn't expect to hear that out of your mouth. Like, and you kind of, so I'd say the negatives are like that initial resistance. But I think I think that's the price of admission, right? You can not talk about the hard stuff and then you never know how anyone feels about anything. Or you can talk about it and you can see where you're kind of like weak points are.
Yeah, you get these snarky comments, those things.
We're thinking of the same comment.
Yeah, but I mean, you just keep going, and eventually these same people kind of get engaged after a while. So
it's actually very true. Like
yeah.
they do get
they're like, hey,
yeah.
They start, they're the ones that end up, being the most vocal at these meetings. So it's interesting, so we just keep going, and we've tinkered around with our model, to give some feedback. You have to be, the way we do it now is not the way we started. And I was very open to feedback from lots of people, from residents, from faculty, about how we modeled our cultural complications. And so we definitely changed it up a couple times to kind of get more engagement from the faculty and so forth. Because we wanted people to speak up and to feel like they could be heard, and not like, we would present the case and there's like silence in the room, So you definitely have to, we definitely try to get feedback and figure out the best way to do it, and talk to those people who kind of sometimes were giving those little snarky comments and so forth. So.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you've been able to win some people over, which is not necessarily easy.
Yeah.
Changing hearts and minds is the NYU way.
That's great to hear.
Just go to them one to one and say, hey, what did you think? Or what, I want to know what you thought about it. How do you think we can improve, or what were your thoughts about this morning's conference?
Yeah.
Make it productive.
Yeah.